Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know I've been gone for like 2 or 3 months, but it's just been a lot. We are not moving, just want to get that disclosed. These boxes are from my school. As you can see, I had to do a checklist. Let me go like this. I had to do a checklist. It's all my dental hygiene stuff in there, so I have to like take it out the closet and check to see if everything is there. But I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about my journey and womanhood and all that stuff. But before I do that, I want to say happy Labor Day to you guys. And how are you guys doing? What you guys doing for Labor Day? I'm going to try to get this posted before tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, because I have classes tomorrow. But yeah, I just wanted to talk to you guys about this, and I'm not sure if I talked to you guys about this or not, or if I made the video, but if I did, then y'all go to the second one. But it's about my journey about PCOS. So if you don't know what PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I believe I said that right. If I didn't, I'm gonna put it right here so you guys can see. Basically, something that causes you to have cysts on your ovaries, making it hard for you to reproduce, making just like a lot of things difficult. You know, you have imbalanced periods, you have unwanted body hair, meaning like a lot of women grow beards, mustache, chest hair, back hair, places like that they don't want necessarily to grow hair at. And what I mean by irregular periods, I mean by like you have periods that last longer than 7 days. You have periods that are about 2 or 3 days that come like maybe twice a month. You have no periods at all for a long time, or stuff like that. I was experiencing something of the sort in 2022, I believe, if not 2023. 2022 or 2023, I went to Planned Parenthood because, one, they accept a lot of appointments really fast. You can get in maybe within a week for a GYN appointment. So that's what I did. I was having irregular periods. My periods would last 9 days, and sometimes they would come on twice a month. So I'm like, what's going on? Mind you, this lasted for 3 months. I'm like, what's going on? The first month that I went straight to Planned Parenthood. I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on. Like, my body is like being weird. Like, what is going on? So I go to Planned Parenthood. She tells me, okay, tell me when your last period was. I told her, I said, it came on twice this month. It was 9 days, like, or last month, it was 9 days. Like, I don't know what's going on. So she was telling me like, oh, like the way that your period lined up, that probably happened, like, for a reason. So I'm like, okay, blah, 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 whatever. Then she goes ahead and say, you might have PCOS. I'm not going to document it down because we have to do the test to see if you have PCOS. I'm like, what is PCOS? She told me the rundown that I just told you guys, and now I'm like, okay, I'm scared. She's like, it makes it kind of harder for people to have children. So that was never a thing on my mind. Like, you know, I'm like, I want to have children, but I don't want to have children right now. Like, you know, like, I want to live my life. I want to go finish school before I have children and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, now this is on the back of my mind all the time. Like, I might not be able to have kids. I might not be able to have kids because the doctor say that I might not be able to have kids because I might have PCOS. So she's like, I want to have these tests done. So I'm like, okay. She said, come back in like 3 or 4 days and we're going to see if your period's off and what's happening. So I'm like, bet. And she said, I'm going to give you an ultrasound. Ultrasound appointment. You're going to go here before you come back to the Planned Parenthood. So I'm like, okay, go get the ultrasound done. I'm in there like super nervous. This is like maybe day almost 10, like while I'm on my period, like the day after I get finished at the Planned Parenthood, I go to ultrasound. to get my ultrasound like the next day, and I'm still like lightly bleeding, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm bleeding, like, is that going to be an issue? She's like, no, it's not going to be an issue. So I'm like, all right, bet. She does an ultrasound and everything, and I'm like, how does the ovaries look? She's like, well, I'm not supposed to tell you, like, that's up to the doctors to tell you and everything, but I could say your ovaries do look healthy, like it has the hair on you, like the follicle hair and everything, which it's supposed to have because all ovaries have that, but yours have a little bit more, but it's nothing. She said, honestly, it's nothing to worry about. So I'm like, okay. The doctor comes, she says, everything looks fine, your ovaries look healthy, everything is good. And I said, do you see any cysts? And she said, no, there's no cysts, everything looks fine. So I'm like, okay, bet. I go back to the doctors. She said, okay, I have received your ultrasound pictures and everything. The doctor said it looked fine over there, and I agree with her. Your ultrasound does look fine, but I still believe that you have PCOS. So she's like, oh, I'm gonna give you this medicine that you can take. You take it whenever you have really bad cramps, and it's supposed to eliminate the cramps. So I took it the next time I had my period, and I'm like, okay, I'm taking this medicine. And I think it's just to take it whenever you have bad cramps. So I'm taking the medicine whenever my cramps are really bad, because at that time my cramps was like really, really, really bad, like to the point where it's unbearable. So I'm like, okay, taking this medicine, the cramps is going away, my period is getting lighter and lighter. But it got lighter and lighter to the point where my period was on for 16 days. And I'm like, I called her up, I'm like, hey, I don't know what's going on. Like, you told me to take this medicine whenever I got cramps and everything. I'm taking the medicine whenever I got cramps. My period has been on for 16 days. Like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, well, you have to take that whole bottle of medicine. And I said, that's not what was said to me. You said to take the medicine whenever my cramps was hurting. And I took it once. And now my period's on for like 16 days. Like, that's not normal. So she's like, okay, you come down to the clinic or whatever, to Planned Parenthood, and we're going to do some blood work and everything. They did blood work. She's still trying to rule out that I had PCOS. So they did blood work and everything. Everything was fine. She's like, maybe it's your thyroid. She did blood work to my thyroid and everything. Everything was fine. Like, nothing was wrong with me. It was just that medicine. So then she's like, oh, I think I know what we can do. We could put you on birth control. And I'm like, what kind of birth control? And she's like, you can get the IUD, which goes inside of your cervix and everything to stop the sperm from entering your ovaries. But I'm like, that's not a problem because, like, I'm doing protective intercourse. Not it's your business. But I'm like, it's not a problem. Like I don't need to have I don't need that. Like, I don't need an IUD or anything. And she's like, oh, well, you only have 3 options. You have the pill that you could take every day, or you have the thing that you can put in your arm, or you only have the IUD because you have high blood pressure and you cannot take any other form of protection or whatever, or you can use a condom. And I'm like, what? Like, first of all, I heard so many negative things about that thing going inside your arm, how it causes blood clotting and everything. I don't want to be that 1% or that low percentage of people that gets blood clotting and then I look stupid. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't even want that IUD either. And I know that I'm not consistent with pills. And she's like, oh, well, the medicine is going to help stop your period if it's going to slow it down, if not stop your period. So I'm like, I don't want my period to stop. Like, I'm fine with having a period. I don't want it to stop. I never said I wanted to stop. I just wanted to figure out why it's going on for so long. And she's like, I really just think they have PCOS. And I'm like, I don't have any other symptoms. Like, you already did the blood work. You already looked at my ovaries. I don't have any unwanted body hair or anything. So you keep trying to rule out PCOS and trying to scare me into getting on birth control and, like, telling me that I'm not going to be able to have kids. Like, it's really freaking me out. So she never ruled out that I had PCOS. So I thought. Rolling around 2 years later, 2024, I want to getting pregnant. Everybody knows I'm pregnant. I'm 22 weeks pregnant, which makes me 5 months pregnant. So I'm like, okay, that was obviously a lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I won't be able to get pregnant and all that stuff, trying to scare me because I was so young, like a young black female, trying to get me on birth control and trying to scare me into thinking that I'm not going to be able to have babies, saying that there's other alternatives to getting pregnant, like IVF and everything like that. And I'm like, you know, I'm just freaking out. I'm telling my boyfriend, my mom, everybody, like, the doctor saying I'm not going to be able to have kids and stuff. I was just really, really scared. And turned around that I can have kids, and I didn't have PCOS the whole time. Like, I went to so many different doctors and they ruled out I don't have PCOS. But that doctor that stated multiple times that she think that I have it, but she can't for sure write it down on documents, actually wrote it down on documents. I went to my OBGYN at the main hospital, and she told me that on my paperwork it says I have PCOS. She asked me, do you have PCOS? And I said, I do not have PCOS. The doctor stated that she was going to run tests, and if it came back positive, stating that I do have PCOS from the ultrasound, from the blood work and everything, she was going to put it down in my documents. It never came back positive, but she still put down my documents that I have PCOS. So now my OBGYN is like, well, we're going to have to do some tests to see if you have PCOS. I said, I do not have PCOS. I don't know what was going on for that 3 months, but I don't have PCOS. Every other doctor that I've been through, so I do not have it. So I really need you to move that off of my history, my medical documents stating that I have PCOS, because I don't have something. I don't want to be getting any medical, like extra medical whatever. Like if I go to the hospital and anything happened and they think I have PCOS, or I, God forbid, but I give premature birth or whatever and they think I have PCOS, I don't want that to be something that they could just think, okay, let's give her some medicine or whatever because of this, because I don't have it. I don't have it at all. So I need that removed. But I'm like, this is really crazy how a lot of these doctors, how they go off of like things. And this was an older doctor. She went off of the stuff that she was taught and not what is being taught now. You know, the stuff that she was being taught was like a handful of stuff. But now it's like open up a new chapter of things, because how much things have doctors explored, how many things that doctors have discovered and everything, and she's not being open-minded about that. Like, just because my period was late a couple of days or it's been on for a couple of days, you just automatically rule out that I have PCOS and then make me think that I'm going to be unable to have children. Like, that was really, really wrong. Really wrong. And if it wasn't for my boyfriend that told me just to don't take anywhere in that medicine, tell her that you don't want anymore, to just leave it alone, and just let it be, I would have still been going back and forth trying to figure out what is wrong with my body. Like, why can't I have children and everything. I also seen this TikTok video that's like, for all those people who are going out to the doctors and the doctors telling them that they cannot have children, if you have a functioning, working uterus, you can give birth to a child. No matter how long it takes, you can give birth to a child. And I was just like, felt so much at ease when I went to another doctor and got their other opinion, to realize that, you know, these doctors are trying to scare me into getting on birth control. Scare me into thinking that I cannot have children. I wasn't going to try to see if I can have children. I was just like, I can't have children. Like, I don't want to have children right now. So I was just really scared. Like, it was the scariest point of my life that I thought, like, I can't reproduce. Something I really wanted to do, I can't do it. And I was just like, this is just really crazy. But this just goes out to all the young black people, like all the young black females who think that something is wrong with their body, and they get advice from doctors after getting like multiple different tests done and proving that nothing is wrong with you, but still hearing that something is wrong with you. I just think that it's better to believe the test over the words of the doctor, because sometimes the doctors do try to get over you, like what the doctor said about my PCOS, and trying to make me take medicine that I didn't need to mess my body up. I think that it's better for you to look at the test and see the actual results, And sometimes it's not the case, but this case was that. And I should have listened to the test over the doctor and trying to take the advice of the doctors and taking the medicine that she prescribed me, which messed up my body at the end. I'll show you my baby bump. Here's the baby bump. Wait a second, it's better if I move back right here. Here it is right here. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. See you guys later.